taking a lovely, long, slow, deep breath in, and a lovely, long, slow, deep breath out. Just allowing the breath to rise up the spine, to reach the top of the head, and just allowing the breath to fall. Allowing all parts of the body just to settle down and to feel the cycles of the mind slowing beautifully. Nothing else to do, nowhere else to be. Just this wonderful time of rest and relaxation and connection with Spirit. Going within to the altar that the Father has laid out for you within. The Holy Spirit knows your perfection, knows your innocence, and allow those feelings and that knowing just to seep through every single cell of your body. Allowing that conscious mind that we use within the dream or the illusion just to quieten, so that the Spirit can bathe in the words that are to come. Within the Course, it is said that sin is the belief that attack can be projected out from the mind where the belief arose. Sin is the belief that attack can be projected out from the mind where the belief arose. Sin isn't what you think it is. Nothing can be projected away from the mind. In truth, thoughts do not leave the mind that thinks them. We can have an experience or believe that something outside of us is real, but that doesn't make it so. And if thoughts don't leave the mind of the Creator, that means that you have never left the thoughts of God. And therefore, this illusion and this dream cannot be real. God's mind is one and unchanging, with perfect love. And so this dream of fear and sin and attack cannot be real. Sin and attack needs two. It's a duality, the perpetrator and the victim. When in a mind that is one, that is impossible, and therefore must be an illusion. So if there can be no attack outside of my mind, I cannot have sinned. I can be conflicted, but I cannot have sinned. And therefore, I am innocent, as I've always been innocent. Wholly innocent. The Course says that the Son of God had a tiny mad idea, and that's what the world must be then. a tiny mad idea that's never left my mind, and that I can play at projecting out, but it isn't really out there. The cause is always in my mind, and as it cannot be projected out in truth, the effect is also in my mind. And when cause and effect are brought together, they nullify one another and become nothing. If I believe the cause has been projected out, and I suffer the effects, this is the separation of which we suffer. So if that cause never left my mind, there is no separation, and therefore we are one. And all of your brothers are one with you. It, of course, also says what is true cannot be perceived, only known. Something that's perceived is a subjective evaluation of something else. Therefore, it's only ever true for you. And it cannot actually be intrinsically true, because what is true has no opposite and never changes. A truth is known by all. Therefore, perception is nothing to do with knowing. Therefore, when you perceive that you have been attacked, it is only the story that you've chosen to tell yourself. And in fact, you attack yourself. Therefore, attack is never justified, and only harms the mind that thinks it. This sets up a whole cycle of attack and defense. Because if I give, then I receive, and as I receive, I give. And the Course says, if we give or receive attack, we have made the world purposeless, because the purpose is to know that you are the Son of God via the Holy Spirit. What is the purpose of the world? Here, the world, its purpose is to enforce the separation. But we can change that purpose. The Holy Spirit, whose only function is to reunite you with your Father, if we allow the Holy Spirit to take over our will. And remember, that's giving up nothing for everything. That's giving up illusion to go home to the reality of who and what you truly are. God is the only cause, and therefore you are effect. And this thus really powerless. An effect has no power. And if God is the only cause, in reality, you are the effect. Here we believe we're the cause. We've created this mad, tiny idea, this illusion, this dream, and therefore can see and experience its effects. But if you are actually an effect, you have no power. Here in the dream, not in reality. We are all one. We are all brothers, simply thoughts in the mind of God. The law of creation is that you love your creations as yourself, because they are part of you. Everything that was created is therefore perfectly safe, because the laws of God protect it by His love. Any part of your mind that does not know this has banished itself from knowledge, because it has not met its conditions. Who could have done this but you? Recognize this gladly, for in this recognition lies the realization that your banishment is not of God, and therefore does not exist. You are home in God, dreaming of exile, but perfectly capable of awakening to reality. Is it your decision to do so? You recognize from your own experience that what you see in dreams you think is real while you are asleep. Yet the instant you waken, you realize that everything that seemed to happen in the dream did not happen at all. You do not think this is strange, even though all the laws of what you awakened to were violated while you slept. Is it not possible that you were merely shifted from one dream to another without really waking? Would you bother to reconcile what happened in conflicting dreams? Would you dismiss both together if you discovered that reality is in accord with neither? You do not remember being awake. When you hear the Holy Spirit, you may feel better because loving then seems possible to you. But you do not remember yet that it was once so. And 'tis remembering that you know it can be so again. What is possible has not yet been accomplished. Yet what was once is so now, if it is eternal. When you remember, you will know that what you remember is eternal, and therefore is now. Unless you first know something, you cannot disassociate it. Knowledge must precede disassociation, so that disassociation is nothing more than a decision to forget. What has been forgotten then appears to be fearful, but only because the disassociation is an attack on truth. You are fearful because you have forgotten, and you have replaced your knowledge by an awareness of dreams, because you are afraid of your disassociation, not of what you have disassociated from. When you have disassociated is accepted, it ceases to be fearful. You will remember everything the instant you desire it wholly. For if to desire wholly is to create, you will have wheeled away the separation, returning your mind simultaneously to your Creator and your creations. Knowing them, you will have no wish to sleep, but only the desire to waken and be glad. Dreams will be impossible because you will only want truth. And being at last your will, it will be yours. Let me ask you a question. Who or what would you be and do if you really knew it was a dream? And I'm going to be quiet for a few moments while you allow yourself and the Holy Spirit to answer that question for you.